Hello, it's Neil Getz here, and we are at Fullerton Stone Circle. It's beginning of December 24, and it's dry just now, and we're looking at the remains of a stone circle. In fact, what we're looking at is the single stone that's the remaining of the stone circle that's here at Fullerton. So what we'll do is we'll orientate ourselves inside the roundel, and you can see there's a kind of remains of a cairn which we'll come to. So we'll get close to being in the middle, and we're kind of facing south. And the traffic you can see in here is the A96 going back and forward from, well, Aberdeen to Inverness essentially, but Inverurie is just, we're at the kind of south, the kind of west side of Inverurie. There's a wee bit of traffic noise in the background, but yeah, essentially the topology is relatively flat. If we kind of walk round from south all the way around, there's not much in the way of this being on a hill. Maybe a slight rise as we turn round to look north, but as far as anything else is concerned, we're relatively flat, which is maybe a bit unusual, but I suppose it's maybe elevated. This is all industrial unit, this is all man-made and modern, and of course the road is as well. Maybe I've risen a little bit, so yeah, maybe a little bit of a rise, I suppose. So let's have a look at this then. So the single stone that's remaining, let's take a quick look at it. It was about almost a couple of metres high. It's a block for sure, it's granite, it's lovely, it's really nice. There's not much in the way of quartz in it, but it's a nice block of a size of a stone for sure. Let's go around the other side. There's probably a fair bit of damage here. This looks a bit like it maybe wasn't intended to be. Yeah, but there is maybe a little bit of kind of quartz in there, lovely looking. Yeah, so a bit of damage, not surprisingly. And again, I'm going to go by my personal theory of, you know, a lot of these stone circles were popped and broken down and used for other things. The roundel itself is still evident. There's a little, I think in the documentation in Carnmore, it's called like a plantation of trees that's round about it. Let's have a go this way rather. In 1850, the earliest records of this stone circle was a mound, a cairn basically, and they had as well as this single stone, there was maybe another two with evidence of maybe another four. So maybe sort of 6 or 7 stones kind of all together for this circle. And what they'd done in the 1850s is I think they had excavated the cairn and found what's described as an unburnt skeleton and an urn. So why it's got to be categorised as an unburnt skeleton, I guess, is because it would be normal to find a burnt skeleton in these cairns. I mean, there is evidence of kind of like slab kind of stones that might have been used as a kind of kist side in the middle, but God knows how many times this cairn's been kind of turned over and looked through over the last kind of couple of 100 years. But yeah, so that's what was found. And inside, I'm not entirely sure what was found inside the urn, but I think there's kind of documentation of bits and bobs of the findings that are now in the National Museum down in Edinburgh, I would guess. So yeah, so there's a couple of big chunky stones. There's this one over here in the corner. Let's go and have a quick look at that. 1938, there was another kind of look at the circle, and it pretty much identified the single stone that we've been looking at as the only stone remaining, with maybe evidence of maybe again sort of other stones. This is kind of one of the kind of chunkier boulders that's kind of left, and again there's kind of evidence of like sheared, you know, it looks like it's maybe been popped. And there's a couple of chunky stones as well that are part of this cairn that probably weren't part of the cairn. But yeah, so a genuine stone circle with a genuine cairn with a genuine skeleton inside of it. Now reduced to pretty much an unprotected circle. There is no fence round about this. This is a used field, clearly, with nothing in it currently. But yeah, there's no much protection round about this from well, any kind of animals or cattle or anything like that kind of thing. So this was one stone remaining, which has clearly been damaged. I mean, I don't think there's much doubt about that. And popped, probably. Tried to reduce it. From 1850, where there's clearly been at least 2 other stones, till now, again, it goes through that kind of period where farmers and landowners, for all the best intentions or their own intentions, were clearing the land from these monuments without maybe having an appreciation of what they might be or how old they might be. So yeah, so Fullerton stone circle, very close to A96, relatively easy to get to. This industrial part here, there's a turning circle I could just park at, pop through the double fence, walked up. So it's not a gate to get over, but 2 fences to kind of clamber over, with barbed wire, of course. So yeah, relatively okay for anybody that's relatively mobile to get to. One to tick off the list if you wanted to in Inverurie. Yeah, so thanks very much for joining us.